It seems like we're good to go. Okay. Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. I'm Yvonne, the Head of Recruitment, Marketing and Communications from ESSEC Business School, Asia Pacific. Welcome to the ESSEC Experience Week, and today's session is Discover Asia's #1 Mastery Management. Allow me to do a quick introduction to ESSEC. A leading pioneer in education since 1907, ESSEC is ranked the 9th business school in Europe by the Financial Times in 2022. We are among the 1% of all business schools in the world that are triple accredited. ESSEC offers a wide range of top-ranked programs that provides strong global exposure, professional networks, and career outcomes. Our students can choose to study in 2 continents via our global campuses in Singapore and France. With our specially curated list of top-ranked programs, ESSEC Asia Pacific is ESSEC's flagship campus outside of France. All of our master's programs are placed #1 in Asia by QS and the Financial Times in their global rankings. And our mastery management is positioned at the 5th spot worldwide by the Financial Times in the latest 2023 rankings. In helping our graduates advance their professional aspirations, we have produced business leaders who helm some of the world's most influential organizations such as Accenture, PwC, UBS, and L'Oreal. In the first half of this session, Professor Arijit Chatterjee, who is the Academic Director of the MIM program at the ESSEC Asia Pacific campus, will present an overview of the program. We will also have 3 faculty members who will introduce the 3 specialization tracks offered in the program. If you have any questions for us, please feel free to type them into the chat box and we will address them in the Q&A segment at the end of this session. And in the second half of the session, we will have 2 alumni to share their MIM experience and career development tips with you. They are Harshit Agrawal and Olympio Bartholomew. Okay, so without further ado, I will pass the time now to Professor Arijit. Over to you, Prof.
Thanks, Yvonne. I hope you can hear me well. My name is Arijit Chatterjee. Welcome to this webinar from the top MIM program in Asia. Okay, so we are consistently ranked first in Asia. So let me share my slides and we will take it from there. Can you see? Yvonne, can you see my slides?
Yes, it's very clear. Thanks, Prof.
Okay. So, perhaps you know already, but let me repeat this information. So we are a very old business school, 1907, 1 year older than Harvard Business School. Our degree is recognized by the French Higher Education and Research Ministry. Last year, we were ranked 5th worldwide, but we think we should go up at least 3 notches up, if not the top. And we are ranked #1 in Asia consistently over the last few years. The program is offered in English and French, but in the Singapore campus, it is in in English. So we have 3 campuses in France, in Singapore since 2005, and in Morocco since 2017, if I'm not wrong. We have lots of exchange partners all over the world, 105 in 36 countries, and we have 2 tracks of the MIM in Singapore. We have introduced the first intensive 1-year track from September 2024, and we also have the flexible track, which is 2 to 3 years, depends on your background and experience. We have 11 international double degree programs, 3 international dual degrees, and 1 French double degree. So this MIM program, you get the degree after you complete 27 courses. It starts with refresher courses in the month of September. You get 9 core courses offered in the Singapore campus, 5 transversal RISE core courses, and 10 elective courses, 2 language courses. We also have the week-long Imagination Week in the month of January. you see that out of those 10 electives, you choose from a much wider base of more than 200 elective courses. This is what ESSEC is known for, to offer a huge, very large number of electives that you can choose from as a student. 50 plus specializations offered. You also get at least 6 months of international experience if you join the flexible track. Okay. So that is sort of embedded in the flexible track. We ensure that our students, when they graduate, they have at least 6 months of international experience. And our students also have 12 months of professional experience through various internships, apprenticeships, and so on. So that is also a part of its requirement. So, and it is also part of the main program. And throughout, you get mentorship. From this year especially, we started career modules, which you can take advantage of in each trimester. It includes, how to write a resume, how to reach out professionally to prospective employers, how to build up your LinkedIn profile, and so on and so forth. So here's the details of how the one-year track and the flexible track progresses in the Singapore campus. I'll start with the one-year track on the left. So you join in September. As soon as you join, you start with the Asian Strategy Consulting Project. It's a very intensive consulting experience. You work on a real problem from a real client, and you have 3 months. So in the first month, you work on the problem, you do desk research, you come up with some workable hypothesis, you do research on the company, on the problem that they are facing, and you present in front of a jury, usually formed of practicing consultants, ESSEC faculty, and the client firm, and you defend your what you are going to do. That's a midterm jury. After that, you go on to do a 1-month field trip where you visit the company's premises, you interview people, you understand how this company functions, you gather data, and after the 1-month field trip, you come back to our campus and you consolidate what you found, you build up your recommendations, you exchange notes amongst your team members, and you finally make your final recommendations in front of a jury again. We call the final jury in the month of December. You also have one language course, and you also attend the various career modules. So that's the first 3 months of your 1-year intensive track. From January, you have the Imagination Week. It's a week-long immersion. It's a transversal. It focuses on team building, transdisciplinarity, and it takes you beyond your comfort zone and makes you you interact with people from various backgrounds, including in the past astronauts, Nobel laureates. Muhammad Yunus spoke to our students, and chefs, magicians, even a drag queen last year. From January to March, which is T2, September to December we call T1, or first trimester. January to March is T2, or the second trimester. You have to take 5 core courses and 2 electives and 1 language course. The third trimester is from April to June. You have 4 core courses, 3 electives, and career modules. In July and August, the summer months, 1-year track students can choose from the CFT track, which is a corporate finance track, 5 electives from that, or 5 electives from the Global Manager in Asia track. So with that, in end of August, you end the 1-year MIM. So as you can see, it's very intensive. You really have to sort of, focus and finish everything in 1 year. Within that 1 year, of course, the ASCP ensures that you have that 1 month of international and professional experiences embedded in the design of the 1-year MIM. The flexible track is on the right-hand side of your screen. You start with refresher courses and the junior consulting experience. The JCE, or the junior consulting experience, it has 2 phases. The first phase is 6 week long. Here you work as consultants to client firms and work in teams of 6 or 7. You join and you sort of plunge into a real problem. Again, after this 6 week long consulting experience, you present in front of a jury. Then in the phase 2, what we call the build your own experience, own project, BYOP, you work as consultants to your own institution, which is ESSEC Asia Pacific. And here in phase 2, you move a notch higher, where you do not just give recommendations or advice, you also execute the project. So, for example, it could be a project on how to improve access to the library databases, or how to improve students' wellness on campus, or a way to measure carbon footprint of our students. Throughout the JCE, there will be various opportunities to interact with practicing consultants. So, for example, we organize talks by senior consultants from McKinsey, from BCG, from IBM, from Bain, and they'll come and talk to you, and you can interact with them later informally. So after the first trimester, from September to December, you, just like the 1 year track, you start with the Imagination Week in January, and then you have 4 tracks to choose from. The Business Management in Asia, or BMA, the Corporate Finance track, or CFT, the FinTech track, and the Innovation, Entrepreneurship, and Sustainability track. So you choose these 4 tracks in the month of October, during the first trimester. And of course, some people may change their minds, but by 15th of December or so, you have to finalize. Okay. So the BMA, for example, has 6 electives to choose from. The Corporate Finance track similarly has electives to choose from. Each of these tracks has electives, and you can build up, you can chart your path based on what you want to achieve in the 1 year MEM. Usually, the flexible track students end their Singapore stint at the end of June, and they go on to do internships or exchange programs, or they move to Chatterjee to continue their program from France. But the intensive MEM program, you can begin in Singapore and end in Singapore. We are trying that for the first time from next year. And the flexible MEM continues at ESSEC France, or Singapore, or Morocco. Okay, so that's what we offer in the Singapore campus. I told before that we started our Singapore campus activities in 2005. We operated from the National Library building in Singapore till 2015, and we moved to our own campus at One North 8 years ago in 2015. Okay. Moving on. So here's not a comprehensive one because there's not much space on the screen, but we have 105 partners. I'll just show you the ones on the screen. Keio Business School in Japan, SNU in Korea, Guanghua School of Management in China, IIM Ahmedabad in India, Nanyang Business School here in Singapore, University of Queensland in Australia, Luigi Bocconi in Italy, Mannheim in Germany. We also have our own campuses, of course, in La Défense and Cergy and Rabat. We have IGADE Business School in Mexico. We have started a partnership with UC Berkeley's Center for Entrepreneurship, and also one at Queen's School. We have a new partnership with Columbia Business School. So not Columbia Business School, but Columbia University. and also Carnegie Mellon University last year. So you can choose from, take advantage of these various partnerships we have across the globe, and pursue what you want to give priority to. So we also have on the right hand side of the screen, you'll see top exchange partner universities are UC Berkeley, Cornell, Imperial College in UK, British Columbia in Canada, and Copenhagen Business School in Denmark. Some numbers here. So 80% of our students obtained a job before graduating from ESSEC, and close to 199% of our students have landed the first job in less than 6 months from graduation. 58% of graduates held a CSR oriented position. That's sort of, because ESSEC has a humanist tradition. ESSEC was founded by Jesuits in 1907. So that tradition continues. 65% of graduates got an international position. So we keep saying this, that we are training our students to launch a global career from wherever you start, from in Singapore or Rabat or France. You'll also see sort of a gamut of logos on the screen. These are our recruiters. So you'll see that they come from various industry sectors, and these are all very well-known brands, companies across the globe. All of them are MNCs, but not only. Many of our students launch their own businesses. We're very thriving ESSEC Ventures initiative. And you see on the right-hand side of the screen, 36% of our students work in consulting, 19% in management and finance, 10% in marketing communications, and 20% in various other sectors, including luxury, for which we are very well known. We have 30 plus years of partnership with LVMH, increasingly in sustainability, in government, NGOs, health, food, and sports sectors. Who can apply? Well, I'll start with the intensive 1-year track. So this is, here you require a non-French 3 years bachelor's degree from a top school. You must be less than 32 years of age. You must have at least 1 year of professional experience. It doesn't have to be in the same organization. It can be, for example, 6 months of experience in one company, 6 months of experience in another company. Cumulative 12 months of experience, and non-French students are exempted from the 6 months international experience requirement. So it does not have to be international. Out of those 12 months, if you're not French, you do not need to have that 6 months international experience. Requirements, of course, you have to write a CV, a motivation letter. References are very important for academic transcripts. We are looking for candidates with exceptional academic record, and we need, whichever standardized examination you wish to take, whether GMAT or GRE or TAGE or CAT. We are looking for high scores, and also all the exams that establish your proficiency in English. We also have one interview scheduled if you pass that, pass the barrier. Deadlines and tuition fees are, you can refer to our website. So in short, we are looking for open-minded, with if you have a curious mind, if you have an analytical bent of mind, if you want to launch a global career, and you want to, bring some, make a change in the world. Our motto is enlighten, lead, change. You're welcome to apply. For the flexible track, it is a different profile we are looking at. We need a bachelor's degree, and this is what we call AST, or Admission sous titre. That's with a title. I stands for international. So you need to be less than 32 years of age. Here you can apply with little or no work experience. again, we need your CV, your motivation letter, your references, academic track, all of these things matter. We do not give a particular weightage to any of these. We look at all of these things. Okay. And of course, exceptional academic record. We need high scores in the standardized exams, and we need to know your English proficiency. Deadlines are on the website. Okay. A typical class profile. So you will this is a good opportunity for you to interact with students from various nationalities. So 45% of our student cohort are international, 50 plus nationalities. That's something we are very proud of, and 50% are women. So that gender parity is also what we are very proud of. Average age is 23. We are expecting, of course, a slightly higher average age in the 1 year intensive track. And you don't have to have a business background. As you can see on the right hand side of the screen, our students come from various academic backgrounds, including engineering, humanities, law, health, political science, pharmaceuticals, architecture, or business. Here are some dates on the screen. So we have 4, recruiting tranches. So fall, winter, spring, and summer. You see the deadlines are on the left. So 10th October was the first deadline, then 12th December, 15th February, and 2nd April. That's the intensive track. Flexible track is 17th October, 3rd January, 20th February, 17th April. And the results will be known to you no later than the dates on the right hand side of the screen. So by 30th November, we'll let the students know who got admitted. The first batch, then 27th February, 22nd April, and the last one is on 14th of June. So when we say 1 year intensive track, we will consider your professional experience till June of 2024. Okay, so you can apply now with the assumption that, well, you will continue working till June of 2024. Okay, that's all from me. I will stop here and pass it over to Yvonne.
Thank you, Prof. Okay, thank you. As mentioned in the earlier presentation, the main program offered at the Asia Pacific campus has 3 tracks, and we shall zoom into each of these tracks with a very brief introduction by the respective track coordinators. Rhoda, you can start the first video now. And the first to start, of course, is Professor Julien Salanave, who will be showcasing the innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainability track.
Hello, future trailblazers. Today, we're here to explore a transformative journey that awaits you through ESSEC's Master in Management program, focusing on innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainability. In short, IES. Let me share over the next few minutes how the IES track equips aspiring changemakers with the mindset and skills to thrive in a dynamic and highly uncertain world. ESSEC Business School has been at the forefront of fostering leaders who drive positive change. Our Master in Management program, with a dedicated IES track, is designed to empower students to become catalysts for innovation and champions of sustainability. As you can see, this is an overview of what it is like for a MIM student taking IES track. It offers a comprehensive experience that nurtures innovative, entrepreneurial, and sustainability-focused mindsets. You will take courses with a strong emphasis on startup and social entrepreneurship, sustainability, and responsible innovation, as well as core courses in strategy, finance, economics, and HR. Some of these courses will involve experiential projects with startups, incubators, and other innovators in Singapore and across Southeast Asia, giving you a hands-on experience in applying what you learn in the most dynamic region in the world. Those of you who want to take things a step further will also be able to join our ESSEC Ventures program, running both here in Singapore and in France. This program will provide mentorship and material support in taking your venture idea to the next stage. As we wrap up, remember that ESSEC's main program, IES track, is your gateway to becoming a change maker in a world that craves innovative solutions and sustainable practices. We invite you to seize this opportunity, connect with our vibrant community, and embark on a transformational journey towards a future you can shape.
Okay, and next up we have Professor Gautam Kiawat, who will be showcasing the Business Management in Asia track.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world today. Thank you for joining us today as we dive into an exciting opportunity to explore the dynamic world of business management in Asia through ESSEC's prestigious MIM program. My name is Gautam Kiawat, and I'm Professor of Management Practice at ESSEC in Asia Pacific on the Singapore campus. Over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the key aspects of business management in Asia and how the BMA track equips MIM students to thrive in the unique challenges and opportunities presented by the Asian business landscape. In recent decades, as we all know, Asia has emerged as an economic powerhouse across all businesses across the world, driving global growth and innovation. The program recognizes the importance of Asia's role and provides a specialized focus on the region's businesses, practice, and strategies. As you can see, this is an overview of what it's like for an MIM student taking the BMA track. This track offers a range of features tailored to prepare students for success in Asian business environments. The program offers a mix of core business courses and specialized tracks focusing on Asian markets that covers strategy, business, and culture. Students experience Asia firsthand through study trips, internships, and interactions with industry experts. For example, last summer I went to Vietnam with a group of MIM students on a study trip for a week, and that was amazing. Mandarin language courses available enhance your ability to engage effectively in local business contexts. We don't promise to make you an expert in Mandarin, but you will know enough to be dangerous. ESSEC's extensive network of alumni and industry partners in Asia provides valuable insights and networking opportunities to students coming for this program as well. So in summary, the ESSEC MIM program, with a focus on business management in Asia, is your gateway to a world of opportunities in one of the world's most exciting and rapidly evolving business landscapes. If you're excited about the prospect of honing your business acumen in the context of Asia, you're at the right place and the next steps are within your reach.
Awesome. Okay, lastly, we have Professor Rick Marchese talking about the corporate finance track.
For financial leaders. Today, we embark on an enlightening journey through ESSEC's Master in Management program, specifically the corporate finance track. ESSEC Business School has a rich history of nurturing leaders who drive excellence in finance. This track is meticulously designed to prepare students to excel in the world of corporate finance. In the next few minutes, I will unveil how this track equips students with the knowledge and skills to excel in the dynamic world of corporate finance. Corporate finance is the heartbeat of global business. It involves making crucial decisions that shape the financial health and sustainability of organizations. Our corporate finance track delves deep into this domain to prepare students for pivotal roles in finance management. As you can see, our corporate finance track offers a holistic learning experience by covering a wide range of finance subjects, from mergers and acquisitions to financial statement analysis, providing a strong foundation to build a career in finance throughout your time here in Singapore. Students have access to networking sessions and talks with renowned corporations, allowing them to apply their knowledge in real-world scenarios. If you're eager to become a finance leader and shape the financial future of organizations, reach out to our recruitment team to explore how the corporate finance track aligns with your aspirations and career goals. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you here on campus.
Okay, so a gentle reminder, if you have any questions for us, please feel free to type them into the chat box and we will address them in the Q&A segment at the end of this session. We will now move on to the alumni panel discussion, and I will invite Harshit and Olympio to introduce themselves.
Thanks, Yvonne. Thanks, Professor. I think it was a very insightful presentation already. And welcome everyone to this webinar. I'm very glad to be here. A quick introduction about me. I am an ESSEC alumni. I joined ESSEC back in 2018 in the Singapore campus. I chose the Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Sustainability track. I did an internship and then I moved to the main campus in Chatterjee to do a chair and to do more internships. As of now, I'm working as an analyst at MongoDB in Dublin. I'll be very happy to take your questions. And again, welcome everyone.
Thank you, Harshit. Olympio?
Yes, thank you very much, Ivan. Thank you, Archie and Professor. So I'm Olympio Barthelemy, and I was born and raised in Paris, France, as you may already, and I currently live in Paris as well. So I'm both an engineer in computer science by training and an ESSEC alumni. I joined ESSEC in 2016 after having done a 3-year apprenticeship during my engineering school. And so it was already 7 years ago that I started ESSEC. I started in Singapore and almost did my classes there for ESSEC part. I almost never went to Paris campus. I also did a double degree master in management with Bocconi School, which is an Italian top school as well. And they have a campus in Mumbai, India. And so I went on both the Indian campus and the Italian campus. And before joining ESSEC, my plan was to join a strategy consulting firm. And I ended up in one of the most prestigious ones because I'm currently working at Marchese Deloitte in Paris, which I joined 5 years ago, just after graduating from ESSEC. I joined as a consultant, and I'm now a junior manager in Marchese Deloitte.
Thank you, Olympio. So happy to have the two of you back again in this session. So let me start by asking the both of you, what makes the MIM program in Singapore unique and valuable for you?
Maybe I can go first, Olympio, yeah. So I think for me, it was, very enriching, first of all. I really feel that the program is very uniquely designed in the first place, and it really gives everyone a lot of options to choose from that helps, one to take the right career path going forward. So for me, in the Singapore campus, day one, we were introduced with the JCE program, that is the Junior Consultancy Program. It is a 3-month program wherein we just work for an external client. We work on real life problems, and then we are supposed to give out solutions to the clients. The best part about the program was, of course, we got first-hand experience working with top company professionals, but then also it worked as an icebreaker for us when we met our batchmates who were from different countries, coming from different cultures and everything. So the group work really ensured that we were already and up to speed in getting to know our batchmates, and then, of course, delivering a very good result to the clients as well. After that, as I said before, I took the IES track in Singapore. I'll be touching base on it a bit later in terms of why did I choose it, but I think it is one of the best tracks, I would say, better than the BMA for me in Singapore. I have my own reasons to vouch for that. But then that is something which you do not have in the Chatterjee campus. So the track was, I believe, one of the main reasons why I also moved to Singapore first and then to the main campus in France. Because the way the track is designed and the subjects and everything really attracted me towards Singapore. After that, again, we have a study trip also in this track. And then once I was done with this, I did an internship in Singapore at Airbus for 6 months. So I would say it was a good mix of academic experience and also professional experience in Singapore. And then because I wanted to experience more what ESSEC could have offered to me, so I moved to the main campus in Chatterjee. I did the analytics chair for 6 months. Again, a very enriching experience, something very different, something that we don't have in Singapore, but we have in Chatterjee. That was followed by, again, a couple of internships and then a full-time job. So I would say overall, the way the program is designed, the options we get, as a student in an MIM program, I think it's very distinct than other MIM programs in other colleges. And that's the main reason, I first moved to Singapore and then to Surgery later on.
Great sharing, Arijit. I can see you're a very big fan of IES and also the Singapore campus. Yeah, and okay, Olympia, you also started your journey, MIM journey in the Singapore campus as well. So
Yeah,
what are you?
as I was saying, almost entirely in Singapore. Paris, I was told you born and raised in Paris. I was sick of Paris, so it was great to be in Singapore. My answer won't differ too much from Paris. I think the key elements from being in the Singapore campus, first is the international exposure. You are with internationals, you are with international faculty, you are in an international context, of course, but Singapore is even more international than anything can be because people come from all over the planet. There are Malaysian people, there are Chinese people, there are Indian people, and a lot of expats from all the countries in the world. All the classes were in English, and also the classes were not just generalist management classes. All the professors always try to have something that relates to Asia, so it's Asia and Singapore to make it much more concrete in the context we were. Also, when I started, you were taught about the refresher courses. We were like 30 people in the cohort. It's a very small cohort when you compare to the large ESSEC cohort you have in Paris, but also that you have in all the other universities, I would say. So 30 people, we got to know each other very well. We spent all our time during the year together, and now we are very good friends. We are a network of people that can count on each other, and there are even couples that were formed in this. And also the tracks in Singapore are coherent. So one of the big advantages of ESSEC is the flexibility it offers. When you're in Paris, you can basically choose any class you want at the time you want. You can do an apprenticeship and be with the rhythm you want. In Singapore, it's a bit less flexible, but it gives a lot more the coherence in what you do, because all the classes are grouped together because it has a meaning to study them together. And then when you want to build your professional project and then to defend it in front of recruiters, it's much better to explain which tracks you followed and what you've learned through them. And finally, the campus is great. You can see it behind Ivan or the other, like the ESSEC picture. It's great. When I joined, it was only 1 year old, the campus. It was still fresh. I guess it's still beautiful now. So it's a great place to study. Singapore is like fancy.
Thank you. Thank you, Olympia. Okay, just to summarize what the two of you have mentioned, I think international exposure, the quality of the relationships, as well as the student diversity are really the three key strengths of starting the MIM program in the Singapore campus. Okay, so how specifically has starting the MIM journey in Singapore helped you to reach where you are now in terms of your career?
Yeah, I think Olympia did, kind of touch base on it before, when he was answering the previous question. Because I think once we are in Singapore, when we start a program, the MM program there, we really have clarity in terms of what we're supposed to do over the next 6 months or the 9 months. So in terms of, we can be really assured as to what direction we are taking. That really gives us a different set of confidence wherein we know that we are supposed to go through this path, and then we can plan our future, steps as well. So I believe that the MM program, especially in Singapore, has this advantage over the ones who start in Paris, because we start with the JC program, that is first of all like real life hand experience with the clients. We do our refresher courses, and directly we jump into a track, a 6 month or a 3 month track there. So again, the choices become very limited, and we know what we're doing at a given point of time, and it really helps us plan better in the long run. So I believe that clarity, which is always needed once we join an international program like this MM program at ESSEC. We are in a new country altogether. There are so many uncertainties, and we try to adjust ourselves well in a new country altogether. That is where ESSEC really helps us to narrow down those, some choices that we have to make, and then take it from there.
Thank you, Arijit. Olympia?
Yeah, so you were asking how it helped me reach where I am now. And I wanted to join consulting. I told you I joined consulting firm, a strategy consulting firm. So what helped me get there? And I think the first experience, and that still exists in Singapore, is the junior consulting experience. And it tells you, so in my time, and I think it's the same currently, you had 3 different missions and 3 different projects, which is great to see a lot of things. And especially there was one that was actually consulting for a company, a listed company. One was a pro bono mission, and one was more entrepreneurial. You had to develop something yourself. And so it exposes, and even if you don't want to do strategy consulting, it exposes you to a lot of different contexts and different stakes that you solve for. And you're immediately mixed with people that are not from the same background as you. And it can be not the same culture, and you learn to work with other cultures, which is super important in today's workplace, and which is a great experience. And also you learn to work with people that come from law school. Professor, you were mentioning law school, pharmacists, etc. So people have different ways of viewing the world and of answering questions and structuring their thoughts. And it's great to exchange with them before being in an actual company.
Okay.
Also, I would add on top of that everything is in English. So for my case, who had studied in French, it was great to learn everything through professional, like business English, to help me be better in what I do currently.
And maybe even just to add on Olympio's point, right? I think one key aspect in how we go about our curriculum at ESSEC is that the professors ensure when we work in groups, there is a diversity in terms of nationality, gender, all the time. So that really helps us prepare for what we can expect when we are in a corporate setup. But I can vouch for it because now when I work with people from across the globe, I think it's become so much easy to interact with them and to present my point of view in front of them and also to hear them back, which probably came from the time when I was at ESSEC and we worked so much in groups, all the case studies that we did together, all the projects that we did together, the JCE, like the study trips when we went abroad and traveled together. I think all those somewhere or the other just contributed in how, we shape up ourselves in the long run. And then we can, kind of take that as an inspiration when we are in a corporate setup right now.
I can only confirm that. It's really like maybe the first time you work in group with someone from another country, you're disturbed, and then you're not anymore, and you learn how people, like, you can't say you don't have prejudice, but you just know that people don't think the same way as you, and it's great when you are in the workplace. You are much more adaptable.
Right. Okay, I'm just trying to connect the dots between what Harshit and Olympio have just mentioned, and I can see that JCE stood out very strongly as a clear strength, and I know that's something that's very close to Arijit's heart. Arijit, do you have anything that you really want to share extra on JCE on this point?
One of the things is, if you interact with these client firms and interact with the person who is actually leading the firm, then you have a lot of say in whatever recommendation you come up with, because you're talking to the chief executive of, even though it's a very small firm, you have made an impact by sharing what should be done, what is to be done, and how the firm should change its course. You have a very close, sort of advice, so you can actually make an impact like that, even though the firm is small. So that's what I want to emphasize first. Second is the JCE sort of gives it a structure in the sense that you analyze the problem, you come up with recommendations, but in the meantime, you also hear from consultants who are quite senior in the field. They share with you how they approach problems. So you hear from diverse professionals. Also, there is one dedicated seminars on how to make a presentation. Okay. So there's also a field trip. And throughout the JCE, you will not be working alone. You're working in teams. and we changed the teams once after phase one. So you'll be working in two different teams. And as Harshit said, we ensured that these teams are multinational, and you work with people from different, also from different academic backgrounds. So not just the Indian and the French and the Chinese and the maybe somebody from Bangladesh or somebody from Nepal or somebody from US or UK. They're working together, but they're also from different backgrounds. So that helps a lot, and we do it ourselves. So because often what happens is the Indians stay with Indians and the French stay with French, the Chinese stay with Chinese, because it's about languages and and common culture and so on. But we make sure that you take the advantage of the diversity that we have at SEC.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks, Prof. I think one big feature about the Singapore campus is that the presence of the student diversity here actually allows such facilitation of multicultural teams to be set up during the junior consultant experience module. And the fact that the module also gives students the opportunity to explore different business challenges and to hear from diverse professionals actually gives our alumni the clarity of directions in which they want to move towards too, so that they are better equipped to see which sectors, which industries, or which functions they are more inclined to work after graduation. And of course, that also comes with a lot of mentorship from Prof himself and also the client partners. And that again highlights the quality of the relationships that is very evident here in the Singapore campus. Okay, I'll move on to the next question. For the both of you, okay, maybe for Harshit first, okay? How did you choose the track in MIM program? Because I know you said before that you really like the IES track, which is not available in the Chatterjee campus. But how did you actually go about making that particular decision as to choosing IES?
Yeah, I think for the both the tracks, once we were at ESSEC, first of all, we were briefed in detail about what these tracks are about by the faculties and all the professors there. We were given a very brief outlook on the subjects that these tracks have. I think that really gave us the initial clarity that we needed as to think in a right direction as to which track we were supposed to take. And secondly, it was just about the subjects and the entire curriculum of those subjects in this track. So just to name a few, I think we had a few subjects related to AI, to digital marketing, to strategy, to how startups work in the long run. So I think that is where I really thought that my focus lies, and I wanted to study more about it. Moreover, I found that this track had a really global outlook because seeing the trend in the business as well, I knew that we were moving towards AI in general. A lot of companies were adopting this in the long run. Now, as of today, I think we can really see that how AI has really picked up in the market. Secondly, the focus was on startups, on incubators, as to how these small firms come up and make a big difference in the market. So this track really ensured me that there was a good mix of academic learning and also out of classroom learning in terms of going and meeting these incubators, these people from startups, and trying to interact with them and learn from what kind of ideas they have in their mind and how do they implement that. So that is what really caught my attention. And having gone through the track for those 6 months, I believe that it really stood out for me with what it promised to me at the start. I could say that, even when we were in campus, the professors really ensured that we had guest lectures, we had visitors from different companies, be it big or be it small. It could be as big as someone coming from Meta, or could be a startup as well, like in Singapore. So we had a good mix of these people coming in and sharing their experiences with us. We were given a good exposure in terms of us asking them a lot of questions as to how they really thought of making an idea so big in the long run, or what is their next step to make that small idea go big in the market. So I think overall, the IES track really offered me a different perspective. And then going forward, I could really use that experience now, taking more courses at ESSEC or even my internships and now in my full-time job. So I would say like I can really vouch for this track for everyone, and I really I'm happy I did that at ESSEC.
Yeah, thanks, Ashit. I think the common recurring theme in your sharing is clarity and structure. You like the fact that each track is actually well briefed to all the students, that allows you to make a proper choice. And throughout the whole track itself is very well structured, and that it very aligns very much to what the course has initially promised, and also what you intend to achieve from the track itself. So that's really, really good. Okay, I'll move on to another question, which is okay, then how did the main program and teaching approach in particular prepare you for success in the global business market? We know that it will fundamentally equip you with a skill set, but then how does it go a notch further to help you to prepare for success in the global business market? So Olympia, you want to start first?
Yeah, I can start. Thank you. So first, I would say that so a lot of classes are normal classes where like when you learn accounting, there is no 30 way of learning accounting. But each time there was something where someone from a company could join and teach you and give you what are the big problems they meet in their everyday working life. They would come during the classes, and you would have a lot of external speakers. But what I would like to zoom on is actually what I already mentioned previously, is the JCE, so Junior Consulting Experience, where learning by doing was really the philosophy at hand. So it's 3 words that mean everything and nothing, but it was really about doing the consulting projects with a professor helping us, supporting us, but not doing giving us all the things we need to do, like downloading content. It was us that had to build the answer. And a very concrete example that I like to evoke is the first mission we were doing was for Sodexo, which is a large French multinational company doing catering services. And they were asking us a very, very specific question. It was about social listening for oil bases in the ocean, etc. They wanted to know what people were saying about that. And we were completely stuck because we couldn't find anything. There was nobody speaking about that. So we're like, how are we going to do? And we were asking our professor, how are we going to do? And in the end, what you do is you learn to find other ways of framing the question and change the way the client, because it's a client, sees it. You really reframe the question and make it something that you can answer, and even something where you can potentially sell more projects afterwards if we were to sell it. So let's say, how could we foster social expression about your services? How can you think the way people interact with you to better get feedback from the consumers in your oil bases? And so it was really about learning on actual cases how to behave. And today, as a consultant, it's really something that you get. You have a client that asks you a question, you don't know how to, you have an approach, and then you realize it's going into the wall. And then you suggest new approaches, and you build something with the client to make it something successful and get a successful project in the end.
Yeah, I think for me as well, I'll just second what Olympia said. But to add on something to it, I believe that ESSEC really helps us to be independent in the long run. I know we already mentioned that the ESSEC Singapore campus really has a very strong, support group that it offers to the students. We have less number of students. We have, faculties all around us. So we really have that support group that we need when we move to a new country altogether. But then at the end of the day, we are there to do our masters, we're there to study, and then eventually graduate, with good scores. So I think one key aspect of this program is that it really teaches us to make good decisions for ourselves. When I say that, I believe that ESSEC is so flexible and it offers so many options to us that we can afford to fail while taking some decisions and then go back on track and achieve what we want to achieve. So for me as well, at times I was just completely lost. I had no idea what subjects to take, or if this is a right, course for me, or shall I go for this internship or not. But then the good part is that I always knew on the back of my head that even if I fail in one thing, I always have an option to try out something else. So the program really gave me that assurance that it's not at the end of the world, or it's not like I'm running out of time or anything. But then eventually, as I went along that track, or those decisions that I took, it just kind of redirects you to the right path. And you have more and more clarity towards the end that which industry you want to join, let's say which country you want to work in, and what kind of role you want to be in, let's say 5 or 10 years down the line. So I believe the fact that it really makes you independent, it gives you a lot of ownership about yourself. That is what I feel like really stood out for me, and then kind of helped me to be successful. I think it's still early days for me, but yeah, I think it really like kind of contributes somewhere or the other.
Great sharing. Okay, so Olympia mentioned about the sharing of real challenges by industry experts, and that's something that Prof. Arijit has introduced to the JCE component exactly a year ago. We are now starting on another new segment of the JCE. So I'll invite Prof. Arijit to talk a little bit about the industry experts that he has invited into the JCE program.
More specific, they are consultants from consulting firms. So, for example, in 2022, the head of McKinsey came and talked to the students. Now, he's a very senior person. He's not just a partner, but a managing partner, a senior partner. So he's in charge of the entire Southeast Asia. So he came with a team of McKinsey consultants, including a very junior consultant who could actually relate to the students more, and spoke about what is consulting and how does McKinsey approach consulting as a profession. And often it is seen as a more glamorous kind of a job, but in real life it is very, it can be very demanding, and it is not for everybody. You have to travel a lot, and you have to be willing to live a very busy life. Another person came from BCG, an ex-BCG. He's a very senior person. He's on the board of Petronas, and he talked about how to crack consulting interviews and these short cases that often are given to prospective consultants. Then there was another speaker from IBM who took the students through the landscape of consulting. There are so many consulting firms, starting with what is called the MBB, or McKinsey, BCG, and Bain, who are known for strategy consulting. Then there are consulting firms like Accenture, which are much bigger than these partnership firms, but the ticket sizes are much smaller, and they do more sort of hands-on, technology consulting. Then there's Oliver Wyman, who's known mostly for tax consulting. Then there's IBM, known again mostly for technology consulting. Then there is KPMG, and then there is Deloitte, and then there is you are in Deloitte, Olympio? Okay.
Yes.
So all these jokes about being delightful, delighted. Then there are so many consulting firms out there, So who knows? Maybe one day, many of our students have started their own consulting firms. So they come and talk to the students, and we also have not only in the JCE but throughout the main program. Both Julien, who you heard, and Gautam, who you heard, the BMA and IES tracks, and of course the safety tracks and of Rick, they have vast industry knowledge. So they're not really academic faculty like us, but they have come from the industry. That's why they are professors of management practice. And what they do is they bring a wealth of expertise into the classroom. They bring in their own friends who are currently working in the industry, and we have a whole long list of talks arranged on campus. So so students often suggest that we want to hear from somebody on this topic, and that can be arranged.
Yes, thank you, Prof, for your sharing. The ESSEC actually has put in a lot of emphasis on learning by doing in its approach to its curriculum. And also from what Arijit has shared, the introduction of industry experts and also our faculty who have been practitioners before also enrich the curriculum with their learnings and sharing as well. So by standing on the shoulders of the giants, you can also learn more from what you can get out of the classroom. And okay, now moving on to, sorry, we are very sustainable. So the lighting of my room has gone off because we are in energy saving mode. Okay, now back to the question. Okay, so Harshit, how did the Singapore campus actually prepare you for your internships? I remember you said that you did your internship in Airbus, right, for 6 months.
Yeah. So after I completed my track at Singapore, the 6-month track, IES 1, I did a 6-month internship at Airbus in Singapore. And maybe just to, talk about how I landed this internship, I think the credit completely goes to the career services team in the campus. From the time when we actually step into, the campus, we are, of course, briefed by this team initially. They kind of gave us a plan as to how, we can go about these internships or a bit of different jobs that our previous batchmates have got after ESSEC in Singapore. The good part about the team is that first of all they are available all the time. So I've seen the same team in Chatterjee as well. Nothing against them, but I think it's a bit difficult to get a hold of the team in Chatterjee because it's very obvious. It's a very big campus. There are a lot of students. So to book an appointment with a career advisor is a bit challenging at times in France. But then in the Singapore campus, we could just talk to them, wherever, like if we met them in the campus, or it was a lot easier to book an appointment in terms of getting their help to review our resumes, our LinkedIn profiles, or even just to talk as to how, we can go about things after our track finishes. So for me, I think I really took an advantage of this when I was in Singapore in the campus. I ensured that I was always communicating well with my career advisor. I was kind of briefing them as to what kind of industries interest me and what kind of roles I might want to take in the long run. And the second aspect was always to kind of get their help in customizing those resumes, customizing the LinkedIn profile, and also to prepare applications for these internships going forward. So I think that is something which is very, very good in the campus. And then secondly, what they also do is they kind of send us emails of a lot of openings that they have for internships coming up. So we always knew, I think it's probably a weekly email or a bi-weekly email wherein they kind of list all those opportunities to us and they give what kind of role of the profiles the recruiter is looking for. So for me personally, that helped me because I came across this internship at Airbus in Singapore through those emails. And then, of course, I contacted my advisor. I took his help to customize my resume and kind of reach out to the recruiter in Airbus with my application. Apart from that, I think how career services really stands out in Singapore is that they organize a lot of networking events and career fairs wherein they invite I think it's around 25 to 30 companies at times that just come and interact with the students in the campus. We have the managers and the recruiters from those companies that gives us, first-hand experience wherein we can kind of interact with them, ask our questions, and kind of get a sense as to what kind of profiles do they look out for when they're hiring in their company. Also to mention, I think that really helps us to network because I believe getting a job is now all about networking with industry professionals, how we can network well, how we can actually stand out in front of them in those 5 minutes that we get to talk to them. So I believe slowly and steadily, the career services team really preps us for this, this challenge that we're supposed to face. And then for me, like it really benefited a lot.
Thank you, Arijit. Okay, I'm mindful of the time that we have about maybe 8 more minutes to go. So posing one last question. On hindsight, what's the one piece of advice that you wish you had before you embarked on the program and you would like to share with the viewers here?
I'll go to my senior first. I think Olympio, you should answer it first, and I'll answer it.
Okay. So first, it's first about the program, of course, and it's great, and it gives you the right knowledge to start up your career with the right basis. But I think, and that's the one advice I would give you, it's also about taking advantage of everything you have in Singapore that is offered to you that gravitates around the classes. And it is what is offered by ESSEC, and what Harshit mentioned about the career service is true. Like there is a lot of events, of career fairs, of events organized by ESSEC, but also not only at ESSEC that you need to take advantage of the year. It's also everything around it. Some people that joined when I was there were like, okay, Singapore is a new country, it has no history, like very not very nice comments about Singapore. And it's actually a great country to live in and to learn about culture, to travel. It's a great springboard to other countries. So take advantage of the year if you start in Singapore to expand your culture, your knowledge, to learn by meeting with new people, discovering new jobs, new industries, new people, new cultures, new countries, new music, new art. I think Singapore is really the great place to do that. So you can attend cultural events. There are some beautiful concerts. There is a F1 just before the start of the year. You can do whatever you want to make your brain even more open and be ready for the job market. And ESSEC is great to do that.
Thank you, Olympio. Arijit?
Yeah, for me, I think I would say that be open-minded in the first place, and just trust yourself that it will work out at the end. Because I know I've been there at times, as I said before as well. There is so much to do at ESSEC. We're just spoiled of choices, and we don't know what we're supposed to do next. But then the way the curriculum is all designed, the way the support group that we have at ESSEC, I believe that one should be really like open to a lot of opportunities that are offered at ESSEC, and should just take them in the first place. Because I've seen that, at times we make a perception before going for something new, that we are supposed to stick to this and we're supposed to carry it out while we are there. But then once you are at ESSEC, I believe it's all about being open-minded. It's all about taking those opportunities that come your way. For example, like for me, before joining ESSEC, I really believed that I want to be a consultant like Olympio, right? But then when I did my courses at ESSEC, I did those internships, I realized that I can never be a good consultant. Like that's something which does not interest me. And now I am in a more technical field. I'm an analyst now, more into strategy, right? So I believe that, and that is what I mean by being open-minded in terms of not just, stopping yourself from experimenting a lot, but then just going with the gut and taking all those opportunities that ESSEC has to offer to you.
Thank you, Arijit. So what I get from you is feel fast, feel safe, but with the safety net of ESSEC APAC here. But at the same time, don't forget to enjoy yourself with the F1 races and so on. Okay, and Prof. Arijit, I would also like to invite you to share your piece of advice to our students who are going to apply to the MIM program. What should they be looking out for when considering the MIM program to ensure it aligns with their personal and career objectives?
Well, I don't have any specific advice, but over the years, the ESSEC motto has changed. Before one time it was beyond education. Maybe Olympia will remember. At one time it was you have the answer. At one time it was pioneering spirit, and now it is lead, enlighten, change. But if you go back to the you have the answer, I would point to that one, because it sort of matches with a huge number of electives that are on offer at ESSEC. And if you you will also discover what you like and what you don't like, where you fit in, where you don't fit in, like what Harshit was saying. So you will then choose the electives that will take you to what you want to become. So it really sort of summarizes the ESSEC spirit that you have the answer, and we have a lot on offer. So you choose what you want to become.
Thank you, Prof. And I'll just like to also share that now our mantra has already changed to enlighten, lead, change, which is to enlighten the minds of our young talents here and also to lead the change itself. Okay, so on behalf of ESSEC APAC, I thank everyone for your time in joining us in this webinar and interest in our program, of course. So if you have any queries, do not hesitate to reach out to us via this email, essecasia@essec.edu. So I thank all my lovely co-panelists here who have dedicated their time this evening to be here. And I hope to see everyone on campus if you have successfully applied for the main program. Thank you, everyone, and have a very good evening or afternoon, wherever you are. Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.